Crystal here. Welcome to another video with Intact Immersive HQ. In this video, I'm going to talk about being an immersive artist in an art residency. In the past, I did a whole blog about art residencies for immersive media artists for the Interactive Immersive HQ. I'll put the caption below. I think it's a great resource if you're considering doing an art residency. It covers what is an art residency, where can I find them, and things to consider. I'll cover some of the things already said in this blog before, but I also will cover some different things. I want to talk about what is a residency, but also reasons for a residency and my current experience at doing an art residency with Thinker Makerspace right now. Process of it, kind of like a behind the scenes. So what is a art residency? Art residency is an opportunity for artists to be able to create their personal work with a given period of time, and different art residencies could provide space to work, accommodations, and there's both paid and stipend art residencies. Is it free? Is it often a question I get, like, is this residency free? It really depends. There are stipend residencies and there are ones with fee, and I don't blame the ones that require a fee because a lot of art residencies, they're nonprofits and they also need money to be able to sustain, and the artist fee be able to do that. And usually they're not crazy amounts, maybe a few $100s, kind of like how much a rent would be. I tend to apply to residencies that are free or stipend because I just don't want to pay money. But it also depends where you're from. Some countries help pay the fee for art residencies. I'm from the US. The US government does not have grants for artists. But if you're from our neighboring country, Canada, there is grants for artists. If you are in Canadian and you're considering our residency, you can apply to be able to have them cover their residency fee. That is the case for a lot of different countries. So I encourage you to check where you're from and if your citizenship can also have this great benefit to be able to apply and have them to support your art. Also, another way is that if you're like a professor, I've met professors who apply for grants for their universities and have them to cover the art residency because it's considered continuous education. Or even if you're in grad school, maybe you have some type of travel grant opportunities where you can ask your university to be able to support you. And every residency is quite different. It's geared for different resources. They have different asks, and the way they structure really depends on the residency itself. Unfortunate thing about a lot of residencies that are a stipend, they're usually geared for, quote, more traditional artists. So they don't tend to have as much resources for immersive artists. Like if you want to do projection mapping, and they might not have any other artists have done that before. So it becomes a little extra challenge of considering where you can be able to rent equipment and be able to get that, especially if you're coming from a place that is in you're in a foreign country and you don't know how the process works over there. And that isn't the case for a lot of residencies I've been into before, where they're used to having more tactile artists, and I have to kind of like figure out how I'm supposed to be able to do a mapping thing, or like have to explain that I would want a space that doesn't have light, because for light art I need a dark space, where I tend to used to having like painters where they want natural lighting or something. But currently I'm in a residency in Nicosia, Cyprus, called Thinker Makerspace. I'll also put their information in the caption below. And they actually are a residency that give a lot of resources. They have laser cutters, 3D printers, CNC machines, wood and metal shops. They have technicians to help you. And it's in CN, which is an art and technology center here. And it's been really inspiring being in this space, and being able to do fabrications tend to be more difficult for me to do on my own. And it's been a great for my creative process. So things are going to consider what different resources art residents give. And also another thing that probably some people don't think much about is how is the community there. So I have been in residencies where I am the only artist versus being an artist of 5, and it creates a very different experience. When I was in an artist 5, it's really inspiring, get to learn from other artists. Currently there is another duo here in Thinker Makerspace. How the accommodation is also factors in the community. Currently, I'm stipend, but I have to find my own space. So I found a flat for myself, which is great that I have my own space. But that compared to being like sharing a flat with 5 different artists, there isn't as much as a bonding there. And in the past, I've had an art residency where I shared a room with 2 other artists, and I feel like that created too much conflict in the space. So all those kind of factors, like how many other artists are there, how are you living a situation, that all factors also on the creative process and also like this whole experience of being there. And different people have different reasons of being in art residencies. I met artists who just full-time do art residencies, which sounds like a wonderful life, where they just travel and stay in this place for a few months, make work, showcase, and then go to another country and like make work, showcase, and on and on. I'm not one of those people. I'm self-employed, but I tend to do more commercial work. I make other people's visions happen, being a creative technologist. And during an art residency is the time where I get to make work for myself, be able to feed my artist soul, I would say. Then create a project and be able to use that to apply for grants or festivals or showcase to clients that like, hey, I did this thing for myself. I got time to experiment, and this is like a proof of concept. Can we do something similar to this for your project? And it kind of reminds me of being back in grad school where I'm making a thesis, but rather than having like 2 years to make a thesis, I have like a month or 2 months, and which can be intense, but also quite fun experience. And for Thinker Makerspace, where I'm currently at, they was really special where they get to let me choose how long I want to be there. Initially, I said 1 month, but they said like, I'm all the way from the US and probably want to be here longer to create something. So I extended to 2 months, which I'm glad I did, because for this residency, I did a lot of fabrication, and fabrication isn't something that would tend to say I am a strong suit of, because there's a factor of gravity and like creating something and like it not materializing. So it took me actually like a whole month to fabricate my project, but it took me like 2 days to do the touch designer logic for it, which you can see like where is my strength. It's been really helpful, and also having the technicians there to be able to help me during the process. So what is like the process of like getting a residency? Usually there's an application. Not all residency have applications. Sometimes you're invited, or maybe there's kind of like not official residency where there's like a company where you get to be the artist in resident there, or like a university and you get to be able to use the resources and you're the art residents there. I've done that in Coco Lab in Mexico City in the past, where I got to like use their facilities in the company there and like create an artwork for myself. So usually an application, and they tend to ask for like, what is the project you're going to make there? And it could change, because there's sometimes a lot of time between you applying to actually being there and things happen, but they also just want an idea of like, can you be able to actually make this and this over here? Does this align with their residency vision? And just having an idea. For Thinker Makerspace, I pitched to make a digital sundial, which I'll make a fabrication, and someone can put a location in, and based on the location's elevation, weather, and time zone, there's different light patterns that will shine in this fabrication. Knowing where it is, I was like, I really want to play with the laser cuts and the 3D printers and everything, and then be able to like kind of hone down what I want to do once I was there. And being in this space in the Art and Technology Center, it's quite inspiring. They have all these like glass cases that showcase different projects that's done in the community. They have these like ceramic heads, busts they made a ceramic 3D printer, and they like make these busts over there. And also they have all these like wood laser cuts, and they're bent using this method called kerfing. I was very inspired by seeing that change the shape of wood from doing all these like patterns on it. So from that, start playing around with kerfing on acrylic and bending acrylic. During the process, I snapped a lot of acrylic pieces. It was very nice being able to prototype and having this quick turnaround, because this laser cut is right there. I can do it, get it cut, and then like see if it works, maybe not, cut again tomorrow. And there is a fee for a laser cut, but it's just to cover like the electric fee and like the materials. So it is a fraction of how much it would cost for me to do it back in New York. And also, like, if I'm in New York, I would need like send it out, wait for a few days, go pick it up, find out it doesn't work, and then like do it again. And it would cost me like hundreds of dollars versus like not hundreds of dollars. I'm very glad I got to have that in the Thinker Makerspace. Also happens to have a art and technology festival here in Nicosia, Cyprus, called WIC, and my artwork will be able to showcase during that festival, and I'll also do a touch design workshop while I'm here. So this is tend to be usually if I ask for a art residency to have your work shown either more formally, like in a museum or like in a festival, or just like a day showcasing to the community. So it really depends on the residency. I'm excited for this project I'm doing here, and something that I want to expand on later on and apply for different festivals. And it's something that would be very difficult, not impossible, but difficult for me to do on my own. I hope you got something out from this video. In the past, I've also done a video on what I bring typically in our residency, and I did that last year when I was in a different art residency in Italy. I'll also put the link of that video in the caption below. And if you have any questions about art residencies or you want to learn more, feel free to put in the comments under, and I would love to share what I can do. So talk to you next time. Bye.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like our YouTube content, I highly recommend you check out the Interactive and Immersive HQ Pro. The HQ Pro is the only comprehensive educational resource and community for immersive design, touch designer, and creative tech pros. In the HQ Pro trainings, we cover almost any topic you can think of, and we go way more in depth than we do in our YouTube tutorials. We have a private group where Matthew Reagan, myself, and our other industry veteran and pioneer teachers answer your questions every single day. If that sounds cool, click the link in the description to learn more. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more free touch designer and immersive content.